It was a Sunday afternoon in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. The day was calm and peaceful. People were enjoying the quiet time. Suddenly, the peaceful afternoon was broken by a sound. It was the sound of a siren getting louder. Firefighters in the city heard the call. It was an emergency. There was a fire. Not a building fire, but a brush fire on a mountain. Mountains are common around Coeur d'Alene. This mountain was called Canfield Mountain. It was a place many people liked to walk and bike. The firefighters got ready quickly. They put on their special clothes and got into their big red trucks. They were used to brush fires. They fight them often, especially when the weather is dry. They thought this was just another job, a routine call. They drove towards the smoke on the mountain. They did not know what was waiting for them. This fire was not a normal fire. It was started on purpose. It was a plan. The fire was a trap. It was made to bring the firefighters to the mountain. As the trucks drove closer, a bad feeling was in the air. Something was wrong. The peaceful Sunday was ending. A nightmare was about to start for the brave people going to help. They were driving into big danger. 2. The fire call. The call came on a Sunday afternoon. It was about 1:30 in the afternoon. Someone reported a fire. The fire was on Canfield Mountain. Canfield Mountain is a place near the town of Coeur d'Alene. Many people like to go there. They walk on the trails or ride their bikes. It is a beautiful place with trees and hills. The firefighters heard the call. They knew the mountain. A fire there could be dangerous if it grew big. They got ready quickly. They put on their special clothes and boots. They checked their equipment. The big red fire trucks were prepared. They thought this was a usual job. They had fought many fires on mountains before. It was part of their work to help people and protect the land. They believed it was just another brush fire that needed to be put out. The firefighters got into their trucks. They turned on the sirens and lights. They drove fast towards Canfield Mountain. They could see smoke rising in the sky in the distance. They followed the road that led towards the mountain. They drove closer and closer to the smoke. Their trucks went up the road towards the fire. They did not know what was waiting for them. They did not know the danger that was hidden in the trees on the mountain. They were driving into a very bad situation. Not knowing it was different from any other fire call. 3. The first shots. The firefighters drove towards Canfield Mountain. Smoke rose high in the sky. They thought it was just a brush fire, a simple job. But soon everything changed. They arrived at the place where the fire started. The air smelled of smoke. They got ready to put out the fire. They started to work near their big red trucks. Then they heard a sound. Bang, bang. It was loud. It was the sound of guns. The sounds came from the mountain, from up high. Confusion filled the air. What was happening? Were those gunshots? More shots followed. Bang, bang. On the emergency radio, someone shouted. His voice sounded scared. "Shots fired! Shots fired!" Another voice came on the radio, full of panic. "Everybody's shot up here! Send law enforcement now! Send help!" The firefighters realized the terrible truth. Someone was shooting at them. A person with a gun was hiding somewhere up on the mountain, shooting down at them. It was a sniper attack. The sounds of bullets hitting trees and trucks filled the air. The firefighters had to get cover fast. They dropped their tools. They ran and hid behind their fire trucks. The big vehicles gave them some protection, but they were trapped. They were stuck there, under fire, with the mountain above them. More calls went out on the radio. Someone said, "We are taking fire from high positions." They were being shot at from above, from a place where the shooter could see them, but they could not see him well. In that scary moment, they understood something else, something even worse. The fire they came to fight was not an accident. It was not a normal fire that just started. The fire was set on purpose. It was started to bring them here. It was a plan. The fire was a trap to bring the firefighters to this dangerous spot. They came to save the mountain and maybe some houses nearby. But someone wanted to hurt them instead. They were heroes arriving to help, and they were met with bullets. They were in a deadly ambush. The brave people who came to put out a fire were now fighting for their lives. They were hiding behind their trucks, listening to the sounds of the gunshots. The simple fire call had turned into a bad dream on Canfield Mountain. They waited for help, but the shooting did not stop. 4. A big search. After the firefighters shouted for help on the radio, the news quickly reached the police. Many police officers started driving fast towards Canfield Mountain. Special police groups, called SWAT teams, also prepared quickly and headed to the mountain. Their main job was to find and stop the person who was shooting. The big search for the dangerous shooter began immediately on the mountain. Police knew they needed to find this person fast. Finding someone in this area was very difficult. Canfield Mountain is known for its hard ground. It has many steep parts that are hard to climb. There are also very thick forests with lots of trees close together. This kind of place is good for hiding. The police knew the shooter was using the mountain to stay hidden in this large area. The fire that started everything was still burning. Smoke from the fire was a big problem. It went high into the air and spread out. Police used helicopters to fly over the mountain. They wanted to look for the shooter from above. But the smoke made it very hard to see anything below. Special cameras on the helicopters that could see heat were also affected by the smoke. It was like a gray blanket covering the mountain, making it difficult to see clearly. Another big concern for the police was the people who were already on the mountain. It was a Sunday afternoon, and many innocent people were enjoying the outdoors. There were hikers walking on the trails and people riding mountain bikes. When the shooting started, these people were caught in the middle. They were trapped on the mountain and had to find places to hide from the gunshots. The police had to search for the shooter, but they also had to worry about these hikers and bikers. It was important to find these innocent people to make sure they were safe and not hurt. This made the search even more complex and slow. The police had to move carefully to avoid the shooter and also protect the civilians. The search teams moved slowly and carefully. They knew the shooter had planned this attack and was in a good position. They had to be very careful because they could be shot at any time. The Kootenai County Sheriff's Office led the search, with help from others, like the FBI. They worked hard, looking through the trees and climbing the steep parts. The goal was to find the shooter and end the danger on Canfield Mountain. It was a tense and dangerous time for everyone involved in the big search. 5. A town in fear. Bad news spread quickly through the town of Coeur d'Alene. People heard about the attack on the mountain. They learned that firefighters were hurt. News reports came on TV and radio telling everyone what happened near Canfield Mountain. The community, which was usually quiet and safe, felt a sudden fear. Police told people in the area near the mountain to stay inside their homes. This was called a shelter-in-place order. Streets that were normally busy became empty. People stayed behind locked doors. They looked out their windows, worried. The feeling in the town changed fast. The sounds of many police cars and fire trucks filled the air. Many residents saw the smoke rising from the mountain. They heard the sirens for a long time. People talked on the phone, trying to understand what was happening. They were confused and scared. An older woman who lived in the town for many years said she had never seen anything like it. She felt unsafe now, saying that bad things can happen anywhere. People who loved to hike or bike on Canfield Mountain were especially sad and shocked. They felt that their safe place was not safe anymore. A man who was mountain biking that day heard the gunshots himself. He was told to leave the area quickly by the police. He said the whole thing was heartbreaking. The town is not very big, about 55,000 people. This attack felt very close to everyone. It was hard to believe that such violence could happen in their peaceful town. The community felt a deep shock. Fear spread like the smoke from the fire. People waited and hoped for the danger to end. The quiet Sunday afternoon had turned into a day of fear and worry for Coeur d'Alene. 6. The search ends. As Sunday evening came, special police teams moved slowly up the mountain. They looked carefully through the trees and rocks.
They were searching for the person who shot at the firefighters. The search was difficult. The mountain was big and the ground was not flat. Smoke from the fire also made it hard to see. Police were worried about their own safety and finding the shooter. Later that evening, the teams found something important. They found the body of a man. He was dead. Close to the man's body, they found a gun. This was the end of the immediate danger. The Kootenai County Sheriff's Office told people that the special order to stay inside was finished. People could leave their homes near the mountain area. But even with the man found, many questions stayed. People did not know who this man was. They did not know why he did this terrible thing. The police did not say much about him or the gun they found. They did not say how the man died.
Was it the police, or did he hurt himself? The fire the man started was still burning on the mountain. Firefighters still had work to do to stop it. The search for the shooter was over, but the search for answers was just beginning. 7. A terrible question. Why? After finding the person responsible, police started to search for answers. The most important question was simple, but terrible. Why? Why did this happen? It was clear this was not a sudden, unplanned act. It was not a chance event. It was planned. The fire on the mountain was set on purpose. It was used as a trap. The shooter waited for the firefighters to come. The investigation showed the attack was planned carefully. The person knew firefighters would come to stop the fire. They chose a place high up on the mountain. From there, they could see and shoot at the firefighters below. The people who came to help were the target. This was a shocking thing. Firefighters face danger every day. They go into burning buildings. They deal with dangerous chemicals. They save people from accidents. But they do not expect people to shoot at them. They expect to be safe when they are helping others. This attack showed a terrible new danger. It showed that people who try to help can become targets. This event had a very big effect on all firefighters. It was hard for them to understand. Why would someone hurt people who came to help? The shock was deep. It made many firefighters feel unsafe in a new way. They thought about the risks they take. Now they must think about dangers they never thought of before. The whole firefighting community felt the pain. Seeing their friends attacked while doing their job was very difficult. It was a sad and confusing time. They needed to talk about what happened. They needed help to feel okay again after such a terrible event. The question, why, was on everyone's mind. Finding the reason was important, but it could not take away the fear and sadness this planned attack caused. 8. Remembering the heroes. The town of Coeur d'Alene was very sad. 2 brave firefighters died. People in the town felt a deep sadness. This was a difficult time for everyone. Leaders from Idaho spoke about the tragedy. The governor of Idaho said it was a terrible attack. A senator from Idaho also shared sad feelings. They said their thoughts were with the firefighters and their families. The deaths of the 2 firefighters showed everyone the danger that helpers face. Firefighters and police officers help people every day. They sometimes risk their own lives. This event made that very clear. Their job is important and can be very dangerous. They go into difficult situations to save people and property. The quiet town felt a great shock. People were scared and sad. They thought about the 2 men who went to help and did not come home. News about the attack made the whole town feel unsafe. Many people who lived near the mountain or knew firefighters felt the sadness strongly. It was hard to believe such violence happened in their peaceful area. The leaders spoke about the courage of the firefighters. They said these heroes gave their lives to protect others. This act of bravery in the face of danger is something the community will always remember. The support for the fire department was strong. People wanted to show they cared and that they were thankful for the dangerous work firefighters do. There were many messages of support. The town started a long journey to heal. It is hard to feel better after something so bad happens. People in the town helped each other. They supported the families of the firefighters who died. They also supported the fire department. Finding peace will take time. The community will not forget the brave men who died. They are heroes. Their story will help people remember the sacrifice of those who help others. Their memory will live on in the town. They will be honored for their service and bravery. The town will find a way to move forward, honoring the heroes who are gone. How can communities better protect the first responders who risk their lives for us every day?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.